Welcome to SportsBeat KC, the Kansas City Star's daily sports podcast. It's Wednesday, August 11th, and I'm Blair Kirchhoff. Coming to you today from Columbia, Missouri, where new athletic director Desiree Reed-Francois was introduced. She walked into the news conference, past Truman the Tiger, and took questions for about 15 minutes. Several Missouri coaches like Elia Drinkwitz and Cuonzo Martin were in attendance, plus former football coach Gary Pinkel and athletic director Mike Alden. Reed-Francois spoke and took questions for about 20 minutes, but that's not what you'll hear here. After that session, she met separately with print and website reporters and also with radio and TV reporters. It's that 15 minutes that you'll hear from her today. After Reed-Francois spoke, Missouri President Moon Choi and University of Missouri Board of Curators President Darryl Chatman, a former Mizzou football player, took questions as well. So a couple of things. During Reed-Francois' interview, you'll hear cameras snapping and other ambient noise. And during this introduction and the outro at the end, you'll hear some background noise, and that's because I'm recording this in the lobby of a Columbia hotel, so thanks for your patience. Let's get started with Desiree Reed-Francois, Moon Choi, and Darryl Chatman.
Desiree, obviously you're familiar with Mizzou, but
Yes, sir.
what was your kind of impression of the athletics department before this opportunity came up, and just kind of where Mizzou stands in the picture, the league and nationwide?
Closing the gap and setting the standard is what we need to do. The university is incredible. The coaches, it's a dynamic coaching group. You can tell that there's some forward momentum. That South End Zone project is really impressive. When we went on our unofficial visit, we went to meet with Eli, and he showed me around, and he met my husband, my son, and I, when his whole staff, and they had like credentials with our name on it, and I was like, yes, I love this kind of attention to detail. And that kind of attention to detail is going to be critical throughout the entire athletic department. So I haven't had a chance to really get to know the folks yet, but I'm really looking forward to meeting them and hearing from them, and then together I can't do it by myself. We've got to all be on. We've all got to, and I don't mean to be redundant, but I'm looking for people, and I told them that today. I said, we want people to be, I'm going to earn their trust, but I said, how you earn mine is selfless, smart, hard workers. That's what I look for, and I want us to be known as the hardest working, the most innovative, and team-oriented athletic department.
Okay. Ben? Hey, Benjamin Hockman, St. Louis Post-Dispatch.
Do you go by Benjamin or Ben?
I'll take Benjamin. Yeah.
Benjamin.
Good, thank you for asking. I want to ask you, I'm kind of like a storyteller. You mentioned Debbie Yao, and I think that's awesome because I'm a columnist in St. Louis. She used to be at St. Louis University.
Yes. Were you a columnist when she was there?
No.
Okay.
But I remember her and some of the hires she made and things like that. So
She took NC State from like 89th in the Directors' Cup to 15th.
That's fascinating. Yeah.
So I'd like us to be in the top quartile as well.
I like that.
But the results are going to come. First, you got to build that championship culture. But being in the top quartile in the Directors' Cup, that's the expectation.
I like that. And just from an anecdotal standpoint, you mentioned Debbie. Can you when did you first meet her? How is she in your life? I'm very fascinated by that connection. Obviously, you're both successful ADs and both women too.
So when I was, and I'm so sorry, I go a little long-winded, so I apologize. When I was very pregnant with my son, this was, let's see, he's 17, so it was about 2004. I never had an aspiration to be an athletic director. I thought that what women did was to be a senior women administrator. And so I was having breakfast with a consultant. I was at Fresno State, very pregnant with Jackson, and I was having breakfast at Marie Callender's. We brought in a consultant that was helping us with our strategic plan, and his name was Sid Dempsey. And he was the athletic director at University of Arizona before he went to be the president of the NCAA. And so I went to Arizona for law school. And so Sid asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, I said probably senior women administrator. And he said, well, why wouldn't you want to be an athletic director? And I just said, well, and at the time there were only two. And I said, well, I didn't really know that was an option for me. I never really set out on this path. I just want to help student athletes. And he said, well, you should look at that, and you should think about that. He's like, you need to, there's two women. There's Barbara Hedges at the time at the University of Washington, and then Debbie Yao. She was at Maryland. He's like, you need to watch and see how they built their careers. And so I, fast forward, when I was at Virginia Tech, I had the opportunity to, and I had watched Debbie from afar. So she was a role model from afar, but I didn't know her. And I knew she was tough. I knew she was smart. But what I didn't know until I got to know her was how incredibly caring she is. Debbie is someone that when I'm not sure how to handle a situation, and you know, there's no playbook, right? Yeah. But when I want to talk to someone and get their guidance, Debbie is someone I call. Because I know her heart is in the right place. I know she's a values-based or values-driven leader, and that's how I'd like to be known as well. She's always going to put student athletes first.
Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it.
Okay. Next one.
Yes, Eric Blum from the Tribune again. This is a two-part question.
Tell me again your name. I'm sorry.
Eric Blum.
Eric.
From the Tribune, yeah.
Eric Benjamin.
Two-part question. Do with it however you want. What would you consider to be your leadership style, and how do you think that meshes with what you already know about Missouri?
Student athlete focused and values driven. And like I said, hard work. We're going to be about hard work. We're going to outwork our competition. We're going to be innovative, and we're going to be team oriented. We're going to serve one another. And I believe, and how I was raised, that my mom would just tell me, don't just say it, go do it. And we're gonna expect to win, but we're not gonna pound our chests and be loudmouths about that. We're just gonna go let our work show it.
Okay.
Unless this has been some extremely long chess game your family has played to get everybody coming to the same place, I'm going to assume that you came here in June having no idea this would happen. So after Jackson had made the decision to come here, when you, I don't know if it was President Choi or who contacted you about this job first, but what is your first reaction knowing that you're going to have a son here in 12 months?
So yes, Jackson made the decision that this is where he wanted to come. Once he went on this official visit and just felt it, he just said, I am all in. Like if you would see his room, we have a huge, like we went to I really wanted to make on the interview, I was like, do you think I told my husband, should I wear my Missouri mom shirt? Because literally, like every other parent, we go and we buy the whole bookstore, right? And so in Jackson's room, he has this huge like Missouri flag, he has the pennants, he has the basketball poster. So like his whole room is all Mizzou. And so then when the search committee or the search firm contacted me, they, I was super excited. And then I want to make sure it was real. And then, but I didn't tell Jackson because I thought in case they don't offer me the job or I don't accept it, like I didn't want him to have a negative impression of Missouri. So it was sort of funny. So they called me on, let's see, what day was it? On Friday to say that they'd like me to come out on Sunday to St. Louis. And my husband was on a golf trip all week in Mexico. And so I called my husband. I'm like, hey, listen, I need you to come back. I got to go to St. Louis. And he's like, what are you doing in St. Louis? I'm like, all right, it's the Missouri thing. I'm like, don't tell Jackson. He's like, okay. So it was just Jackson and I. And I'm like, hey, I need to get some high heels. So this is way more information than this is in the TMI category, but I've already started, so we're going to go down this path. Sorry. So I needed to go get some shoes because I've been wearing tennis shoes, and this is probably the last time you're going to see me in high heels. But so I needed to go get some new shoes, but I also needed a gold blouse. And so I sent Jackson on this wild goose chase to go buy I'm like, go get a hat because he likes hats. I'm like, go to the sporting goods store because I need to go. And so I bought the shoes and I ran upstairs to go get a gold blouse, and I hid it. And so anyway, he did not know where I was going. And then on Sunday when President Choi offered me the job, I called him and I called my husband and I said, well, you thought that you were escaping your parents. I'm like, what would you think? I'm like, your mom might be the new athletic director at Mizzou. And he's like, wait, seriously?
Was he happy?
He was blown away. He was really, really happy. He's like, and I mean, I had tears in my eyes because it was just, it was really special.
Next one.
I feel bad for making it less lighthearted because it's a great story. But Mitchell 48 again, by the way.
Yes.
I know-
Congratulations to your sister.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh,
I don't know
that's
if I
so-
deserve congratulations, but it's been amazing.
That's so
to hear from
exciting.
So many people. Yeah, it was awesome. I know you talked a lot about kind of closing the gap with the rest of the SEC, and one of the areas where there's room to do that is
Yep.
with ticket sales. And I know that's
Yep.
a problem everywhere in college
Yep.
football and college sports right now. I mean, how do you start to tackle that?
We have that challenge at UNLV. And across the country, right? Even at Virginia Tech, at Cincinnati, even at Tennessee, right? Now, in different levels, in different ways, but when you're gonna close that gap, you got to first listen to people. So our season ticket base is going to be so incredibly surveyed. I want to find out about their game day experience, but not just the game day experience in the stadium. I want it to be for everything from when they're about to buy tickets. Is it easy? Like, I want to push the easy button on things. To coming to the stadium, is parking easy? Are game attendants greeting them in the right way? Are they having an incredible experience, right? Because we're not just competing with St. Louis and Kansas City. We've got to make sure we're competing for people's time. And it's easy. I don't even know which one's my phone. But, well, I know it's somewhere. I guess my phone's not here. So we're competing for people's time. And we got to make sure that we're creating an event where people fear missing out. It's like, I want to make sure this is the thing. This is what everybody can't, like, you never want to miss a Mizzou game. So we're going to ask people about their experience, and then we're going to fix any challenges that we may have, and we're going to create a great game day experience.
Callum McAndrew, Columbia, Missouri.
I'm sorry, tell me it again.
Callum McAndrew.
Callum.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
You didn't think Missouri? No, Scotland.
Scotland. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So sorry to bring the tone down again.
Callum.
Another area where a gap could be closed is Missouri's athletics vaccination rates. I was wondering what your plan going forward is, what your message is to student athletes.
I have a lot of listening and learning to do in the days ahead. And so I am looking forward to talking with our sports medicine staff and understanding also our local and state guidelines, talking with our team doctors, et cetera. From what I understand, football is close to the SEC expectations, and the SEC protocol, I think, is 85%. So I've got a little bit of listening and learning to do, but I look forward to doing that and then figuring out how we can get where we need to get to.
Anthony Christensen, Columbia, Missourian as well, but not from Scotland.
Okay. Nice to meet Anthony.
Nice to meet you, yes. So yesterday in the letter released by the university, it mentioned different benchmarks that were going to be discussed. I was wondering if you had discussed those already and what your goals ahead were going to be.
In terms of benchmarks, in what area?
Just like
general?
Yeah.
So like I said, I would like us to be in the top quartile in the Directors' Cup. It's going to take a little bit of time, but first it starts and ends with our people, and we've got to build that championship culture and build those habits, set the expectations, and then the results will come. But it's going to take, I need to get to know our people, and I need to figure out the great, because I know there's so much great here, and then we're going to take that great and then take it to the next level. And we're going to close that gap and then set the standard.
I'm Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you. How did you become a rower?
I'm a rower because I'm very uncoordinated, but I'm almost 6 feet tall. And I love to get up early, and I wanted to be part of a team. So I really wanted to run track at UCLA, but I wasn't quite talented enough. So I ended up going out for rowing, and actually I didn't even get my varsity letter because our team was moved to club sport. But I love being a part of a team. And anytime I have an opportunity teams, like, you make one another better. And that's what I learned from rowing is the beauty. Everybody, the woman next to you, the woman behind you, we're all trying to accomplish the same things, but I have to make her better and she has to make me better. And that's what I love about building.
So we've got one more question for Desiree, and then the president and the chair of the Board of Curators are here as well, and we'll bring them up for you all to ask questions as well. Go ahead.
Colin O'Brien, Jefferson City News Tribune.
Colin, nice to meet you.
A little bit of a personal question. Some of them just walked in behind you, but family is so important to you from your statement, from your speech, from what I understand. Just how have you balanced building this career and also building a family and that unit close?
Bringing everybody apart. Like when, when you're hiring me, you're kind of getting my husband and my son as well. Jackson, ever since he was a little boy, where's Jackson? There, so when Jackson was in eighth grade, when you're the official statistics distributor for Virginia Tech. Yeah, when Jackson was a 7th grader, he was the official statistics distributor for Virginia Tech women's basketball. When he was, I think he was 12, he decided to start a company that he was going to evaluate athletic departments' game day experiences from a kid's perspective. And Whit paid him $50 to go around and check it from a kid's perspective. And then he wrote a report, and so he gave. I doubt we paid taxes on that $50, but that's how we do it. We've always just, my husband's a big part, my son's a big part, and we have to all be all in. That's the only way I know how to do it.
Hi, Colin O'Brien, Gibson News Tribune. I know President Choi mentioned that it was an outline, a 4-week process, but if you found the person that you knew you wanted, you're going to end up in hire. When was that moment for you? When did you realize that Desiree Reed-Francois would be the next AD at Missouri?
I wasn't directly involved, within the interview process, but I know Curator Lehman, who led the search, getting along with Dr. Choi, called me and he said, Darryl, we have found the person. She's excellent. She's phenomenal. She's energetic. She's going to be a great fit for this role. So as soon as he interviewed her, it didn't take this, this was on the first interview. He said that. Then on the second interview, he said there's no doubt in his mind that we had made the right decision and we had found the right person. So based on Curator Lehman's evaluation and Dr. Choi, I was very excited about the prospects of meeting her today and getting things going with her as our new leader of the athletic department.
I'm Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star, and President Choi, I'm just curious. You talked about 100 people that you talked to. I imagine that all sorts of categories of folks. Who were they, or just kind of generally speaking?
So there were coaches, as well as student athletes through the Student Athletes Advisory Committee, members of the Chancellor's Intercollegiate Athletics Committee, and constituents like donors and our curators, and to determine what are the goals, what are the characteristics of the new AD that we wanted, so that we're all in alignment. And actually, all of the feedback was very consistent. Visionary, deeply compassionate, innovative, someone who understands the business of collegiate athletics, but also someone who has alignment, recognizing that athletics is part of the university. When good things happen through athletics, that helps the institution and vice versa. And so we stopped the search on Sunday at around 1:30 p.m. because we found the right person, the very best person.
Anthony Christensen, the Columbia Missourian. What should fans be expecting for this coming season and then going forward with this new appointment?
I think fans will see a greater attention to detail about their experience when they come to our stadiums, and there'll be greater focus on customer service. We're going to have attention to details that come from feedback from fans, surveys that they're going to be given, so that we want to find out, how do we improve our parking situation? How do we improve concessions? And how do we improve the replay systems using all of our boards? So fans will be able to see that almost immediately. And it's an evolving process, because we can't just rest on our laurels. It'll continuously have to improve. So you're going to see that attention to detail.
Callum McAndrew, also Columbia, Missouri.
Yes.
I was wondering how many people did the search committee reach out to? How many people were on the short list?
I guess we can say that. We started off with a list of about 30, and we narrowed that down. The group narrowed that down to about 7 to 8, and we narrowed that down to about 4. And from the 4, we met with 2 individuals.
President Choi,
And by the way, they were all great candidates from different conferences with different levels of experience, but they demonstrated the characteristics that we were seeking.
you mentioned a few times, innovation, fresh ideas. How exactly did Desiree show that during the interview process?
Well, she comes from an institution that understands the entertainment value of sports, and she managed a budget of about $85 million, of which $50 million was for athletics. The other $35 million was associated with bringing talent to the Thomas and Mack Arena, as well as the other stadiums that they have. And so she was able to really integrate what she learned and the best practices are on the entertainment side to athletics and vice versa. That's key for us. I want to see our stadiums filled on Saturdays, but also when it's not being used for football, let's use it for concerts. Let's have rodeos there if we have turf can handle it. But something innovative. And we're going to do that together. The reason I say we're going to do that together is we can't just rely on one person to just change the culture. There has to be that alignment and support. But you're going to see some exciting things happening here.
President Choi, clearly she's the best candidate. It's also cool that she's a she. Can you describe, from your vantage point, why it's important, why it's, for lack of a better word, neat that Missouri now has a woman in charge of the athletic program?
So when we spoke to the board about how this process should proceed, and important searches like searching for a chancellor or a coach or athletics director really takes input from a variety of sources, but ultimately from the board. They set the strategic vision, and what they shared was what I believe in, which is broaden the pool as much as possible, bring in the best candidates, and at the end of the day, choose the best person. And it just happened to be that Desiree is Desiree, but she was the best person, and we're so happy to have her here. And we could also say that, given the context of the times that we live in, that she is a trailblazer. But she's going to be a trailblazer not because she's female, but because of the outstanding work that she's going to do here at the University of Missouri. Thank you.
Dr. Choi, there was a time not too long ago when Missouri talked about going from good to great. And you made the point today that that's not good enough. Where does that idea kind of come from, and how do you measure going beyond great?
Sure. It really goes back to the concept of accountability. And you probably noticed this in your field, but the word great is just bandied about all the time. And who measures greatness? Is there an organization that measures greatness? And are there standards aligned? The champions, there's no denying who's a champion. At the end of the year, there's only one champion standing. And that's where we want to be. And it may take us 3, 4, 5 years to get there. We can't do it with the snap of a finger. It takes a sustained commitment. So we're looking for sustained, long-term, visionary leadership that's going to create that championship culture. And, I hear this from coaches and from our board members. We want every single person that works in athletics to get up each morning and ask themselves, how am I going to contribute to that championship culture? And when they're asked about it, whether it's the person serving food to our students, the person that is involved with academic advising, or head football coach, they should say the same 3 things that they need to develop. And that's going to be part of the strategic plan. But it's creating that winning culture that is going to really make this university better.
President Choi, I know today's all about looking forward, but if we look back, it was only about a month ago you had another athletic director under contract, who's under contract until 2023. What is it about that situation or anything about the athletic department at that time that you reviewed as right now is the time to make a swap?
Well, I want to say that Jim is a man of great integrity, and there are many important things that he and his staff accomplished during the term. But looking 10 years out into the future, I knew, the board knew that we needed a different direction. And it's that innovation that we need, given the changing dynamics and the fact that for us to develop into champions, we have to work harder than Alabama. We have to work harder than Florida. And so are we going to bring that culture where that high level of expectation starts from the top? And that's the reason that we made the decision.
That'll do it for today. Thanks to our SportsBeat KC production staff of Beth Welsh, Monty Davis, Jeff Rosen, Chris Fickett, and Savannah Smith. Links to stories about Mizzou can be found in the show notes and on kansascity.com. Hey, we have another deal for you. You can subscribe to Sports Pass for 99 cents a month. That's right, 99 pennies a month. Sports Pass is the online version of the Star Sports section. You get all the stories that appear in the print editions of the Star, plus additional stories that appear only on the website, and of course, they appear first on kansascity.com. After 3 months, it auto-renews at $5.99 a month unless you cancel. And it's a great time to subscribe. Read about what's going on with the Chiefs, Royals, the colleges, our soccer teams, and more. How do you get it? You go to kansascity.com/sportspass2020. That's kansascity.com/sportspass2020. Do you want more than just sports coverage? Check out the entire Kansas City Star product. Sports news, features, commentary, and analysis, the whole thing. You get all the stories written by my talented colleagues, plus additional national news, sports, features, and business coverage with the e-edition. Details for all of these deals can be found at account.kansascity.com/subscribe. And if you're having trouble hunting down any of those offers, you send me an email, bkirkhoff@kcstar.com, and I'll get you to the right place. So whether it's the Sports Pass or the full subscription, you're getting and supporting the best sports and news coverage in Kansas City and helping us produce programs like SportsBeat KC. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back on Thursday with another episode.